Everyone, and welcome to another Gridiron Football All-American Bowl Game update. I'm Jace LeJeune alongside the founder of the Gridiron Football All-American Bowl Game, and that is Andy Bryson. Andy, great to be joining with you again. I know we talked about our first 4 commits from our previous show. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out and subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out that show. And Andy, we're going to announce 4 more new Gridiron Football Bowl Game commits today, and these are some really good players that we're about to announce.
We have a great game every year, and if you like our content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little button right below me and subscribe to our channel. It helps us out with the algorithms and everything, so make sure you subscribe. But yeah, we have a great bowl game every single year, and it never ceases to impress the fans in the stands, because every year, it gets bigger, and this year is no different. I think we take a big leap forward, especially with some of these names we have here. First one is Chad Elzy from Assumption,
From Ascension
Christian. I mean, that young man was Mr. Everything last year. All district, all state, all district MVP, all state MVP, all metro MVP, all work done MVP. He was Mr. MVP. Had 2,900 yards rushing last year. Just an unbelievable talent. Started off this season even strong. Had a big game you saw earlier this year. I mean, the young man is a phenomenal athlete. He's committed to playing the bowl game this year. He's going to be toting the rock. And what's crazy about it, Jace, is the young man is not even ranked or has very many any officers I know of.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. I mean he's one of the most underrated players out there. Kind of reminds me of like going into last year, right? Like Braden George, a guy like that. A guy that doesn't really get talked about that whole much about, but he's a Division I guy. I mean the stats he was able to have last year was just absolutely insane. I mean he had 9 touchdowns in one game. It's a state record. I mean, he's got all district, all state. I mean, he had
MVP at MVP because he was all district, all state.
Yep.
But he's also MVP.
MVP, all state. I think he had 60 touchdowns last year.
Yeah. 3,000
all-purpose yards. There could have been 3 or 4 times he was our Gridiron Football Player of the Week, and he was actually a Gridiron Football Player of the Year nominee as well, finalist. So yeah, he set all kinds of records throughout his incredible career, and he's still got another year left going to his senior year. I know he's playing for Will Northeast, a former LSU quarterback, and he ended up playing at UTSA as well. Great high school football legend, a quarterback. So it's going to be exciting to see him in his senior year. If those were his numbers his junior year, close to 3,000 yards, 60 touchdowns. Who knows what his senior season could be?
And like I said, he already started off season strong already. So I mean, I'm looking forward to his senior year. See where Lyle puts him this year and where he goes this year. I'm looking for this young man to have another stellar year.
Oh yeah,
another MVP season. Coaches, if you're watching this, don't let this kid slide by. The kid's got a just impeccable GPA. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I know it's over 3.0. I saw it yesterday.
It is.
I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's like a 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, something like on that range. But it is over a 3.0. So don't sleep on this young man. Somebody's gonna find a real diamond in the rough with Chad Elzy.
Yeah, a couple of offers real quickly with Chad. I mean, he's got offers already: Southeastern, South Alabama, Nichols, Arkansas, Monticello, Millsap. So I mean, there's a lot of colleges that have offered him already. It's just about those bigger upper tier schools that could get a chance to take a shot on him. And be honest, they really should, because he's just so. I mean, he's just kind of built low to the ground. Nobody can really tackle him. He's strong. He's explosive. I see him jump over guys in games, and I mean, he's always a threat to take a play to 6 to the crib. So
that'd be kind of interesting to see him in a Frank Scuffle offense.
Yeah.
It's your alma mater.
Right, and then watching LSU and Nicholls State, we saw Colin Guggenheim go off against LSU. I can see him in that offense too, again, being the Wildcat and being that type of back for Nichols. So either way, if he lands in the Southland Conference, boy, watch out.
Well, the next young man is Kyle Johnson. You might have heard of him. He's a 13th ranked prospect in the state of Louisiana, already committed to University of Houston, Power 4. It's hard getting used to that Power 4.
Yeah,
Power 5.
I know, right.
So he's committed to play for over at University of Houston.
Willie Fritz.
Yeah, Willie Fritz from Tulane. So that's going to be a very interesting play. He's a defensive back from Bunkie, a town that you can't find on the map.
Yeah.
So this young man, I'm looking forward to seeing him in the ball game with his explosiveness, his speed, his ability to get to the ball. I'm really excited about this young man in the bowl game this year.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Kyle and Bunky's really coming on. They are having a year where they can have probably their best year ever in the program's history after winning 9 games last year, which was really big for that program. And Kyle Johnson is definitely one of those guys. I mean, last year, he's a guy, he has 4.4 speed, 4.3 speed. He is that fast on the football field, and he can change the play. They put him on offense. As a receiver, throw screens at him, and he's always can take it to the house. He plays on defense. He's like Deion Sanders. They don't even throw it or try to throw it his way because he can take it the other way pretty easily. And then special teams, he had a couple punt returns for touchdowns, kick returns for a touchdown. So, Andy, this is a guy in the bowl game. I'm going to be very intrigued because I'm sure the coaches, whatever team, I know he wants to be on your team, but whatever team.
Watch out, Marcus.
Yep. Whatever team he lands on, I'm curious to see how much they use him, not only on defense, but in the return game and get him involved multiple different ways because he's that special of an athlete.
Right. He grades out in the Gridiron football rating system as an 8.9 out of 10. Like you said, his speed, his size, his speed, his agility, his ability to go from side to side. So he grades out as an 8.9, which makes him a high-grade 4-star prospect for Gridiron football. I know at 0-3 or 0-1 and Rivals 24/7, they have him rated as a 3-star prospect. With Gridiron football, he rates as a 4-star just because we grade him off their abilities, not of who's offering. So it's a little bit different grading system. So yeah, he grades out as an 8.9, which is one of the highest rated prospects we've ever had in the bowl game.
Yeah.
So a great asset to Gridiron football's bowl game this year.
Absolutely. I mean, you saw I talked a little bit of what he did all 3 phases. He had 620 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. So Andy, Kyle is actually an SEC caliber player. He actually chose Houston over Mississippi State, which was in him late, Baylor, UL, and other schools. But Mississippi State is an SEC school that offered him, and it's still not over. This is going to be a type of guy that there's going to be other schools that'll be pushing him late, even though he is right now committed to the University of Houston.
Well, I mean, you got Big 12 with him signing. University using Big 12. Baylor's Big 12.
Yep.
So and then you got you said Mississippi State's SEC. So yeah, like I said, he's the highest graded prospect we ever had in the bowl game. So I mean, he's a very talented young man, very on and off the football field as well. A high GPA kid.
Yeah.
Very smart in the classroom. Good kid. We talked to the coach about him. The coach raves about him. So a great prospect going to University of Houston as of right now.
Yeah, I'm sure Cougar fans are hoping he continues to stay committed. I know they're looking forward to having him arrive on campus. And now, Andy, I mean, we talked about Chad Elsley. We talked about Kyle Johnson. That's two of the highest
Stone
prospects.
Celestine from St. Paul's High School, wide receiver. And he was at our camp back in, I think it was March this year.
Yeah, Covington.
And over in Covington, just wowed us out there. Was one of the players of the camp. We had I think 90-something kids there.
Yeah, it was a big camp.
And he stood out amongst a lot of these other great people that was there.
Yeah.
Stone is another good time prospect. Doesn't have the stats for last year. But we look at it. Like I said, I look at more than just the stats. Stats is more of a team thing.
Right.
I look at the player itself. And Stone is one of those guys. He can do everything. He checks all the boxes. He runs a 4.5
Yeah.
I think he ran a 4.5 something at our camp. He had one of the fastest times at the camp. Now I don't clock with the laser, so you're going to have a little bit slower than a laser time because you do hand, and that's because you start on hand movement when they start moving forward versus when they cross the line. So hand time is always a little bit slower than laser time. So laser time, he's probably a high 4.4, low 4.5. So he ran a 4.5 something. I don't remember off the top of my head what it was. He was one of the standouts at that camp. Had a lot of great catches. If you go back and watch the plays at that camp, had a lot of high catches.
Yeah.
Uses his hands really well in the catch. I don't like guys bring the ball all the way inside. I want to see them catch the ball with their hands. You know, it's make the diamond with your hands.
Right.
And because if you catch the ball out here, at least if you miss it, you still have the second chance when it comes in the chest.
Right.
So I want to see the guys use their hands to catch the football, not use their pads. You get rubber, leather, whatever you want to call it, hits that plastic on your chest, it's going to bounce. It's like a bouncing ball. So I want to see the guys use their hands. So this young man uses his hands very well. He's fast. He can get inside those cuts really well. I saw him making those post routes.
Right.
And so he was able to make those cuts, make their DB, get that separation from the DB. So he does do a lot of that. Doesn't have a lot of stats at St. Paul's. Last year they run the ball a lot at St. Paul. This year they're throwing a lot more years at the St. Paul game. Last week or the week before last?
Yeah, I know Carter saw them last week, and Brendan Kahn, their quarterback's thrown for over 300 yards the last 2 games, and
Stone's their main receiver.
Yeah. So
we obviously saw something there that the coaches are like, holy sh.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Pastor, I won't say what I was going to say. But Stone is the real deal.
Yeah.
May not have the stats on paper, but as a football player, the young man is a phenom.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our next one.
And one more thing before you move on to the next one too. He's also got a couple of offers as well. St. Olaf College, Millsaps, and Trinity. I've already offered him, and has a 3.36 GPA, and kind of a savvy football player, right? I mean, he just knows especially in zone defenses, he knows what space to really just kind of fall in to help. It's really a good security blanket for Brendan Kahn, which is definitely a quarterback on our bowl game radar, but he's a really good receiver, savvy, quick. He was able to defeat a lot of DBs one-on-one in our camp, and I think that's what really impressed a lot of coaches, what he was able to do with his route running. So it's gonna be fun to see him at the Gridiron Football Bowl game and see what he does there.
And I do want to say one more thing about Stone. Stone has a player profile card. So if you want to go check out and learn more about Stone, go to our website, go to player profile cards, and click on Stone's player profile card. Jace keeps up with his stats, so if you buy a player profile card, which is just extra exposure we do for players, Jace keeps up with all these stats throughout the season. So go check his game by game stats Jace has put up, and check out Stone a little bit more in depth.
Yep.
Our last player we want to talk about from the great state of Texas.
Yeah.
Our little brother.
He's our first.
Guys, I'm joking. Rajon Sims, he's a wide receiver from Marshall, Texas. Came to our camp when we up in April. When we had it in Palestine, Texas. Great little story about him. I'm going to let you tell the story about the young man.
Yeah, so talked to Rajon's dad and at the camp while the camp was going on, and got a chance to talk to him a little bit, and he was like, Jace, Rajon was so excited about this camp because he wants to play for an invite to play in the Gridiron Football All-American game. That's the reason why he came out to the camp. Well, probably about a week or 2 before Rajon was supposed to participate in the camp, he gets injured. I think they were playing basketball, or they were playing something. That's what you usually do in the off season, right? Play with your friends and hang out. Enjoy going to your senior season, and he got hurt, and it turned out that he went to the hospital, and he was really worried because he thought that he would be out for the camp, and he lost his opportunity to compete for a bowl game spot. So he would actually burst out crying, and was thinking that this wouldn't happen, and the doctor said it's not as bad as what we think. So he was able to go into the camp, and so he balled out. He played offense, he played defense, he played receiver and cornerback. Had a couple of touchdown catches on offense, had a couple of interceptions as well on defense. Both sides of the ball during that camp, and was obviously a top player from the camp in Texas. And when he earned that invite, when you're able to announce him as a top performer of that camp, he was really emotional about it. And he is so excited about this opportunity, and he's actually playing both ways a little bit for Marshall, which is a big program in Texas. So he's a very athletic player. who has great ball skills on both sides of the football. So a great story for a young man. That's what we're all about, is for the young athletes, and he's just one of those examples of guys that we're trying to help here at the Gridiron Football American Bowl game.
If you go back and watch that film from that camp, he's one of the guys, like, he's the guy to catch the ball with one hand over his shoulder. Has a great reception in that camp, which really stood out to you. You was actually filming the camp.
Yeah.
And then he wound up getting player of the game or player of the camp at the end.
Yeah, so another 4.5 speed, so like he's got some good speed as well to contend with a lot of these fast guys. So he's going to definitely.
He's going to be a guy that's going to want to watch out for in this bowl game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as you see, we have guys that everybody's heard of. Got these big time offers to guys that nobody's heard of.
Under the radar.
That's flying under the radar. They're really great. That's what makes this bowl game so awesome, because of the ability to find some of these guys. You know these. I mean, Rajon's not a small kid. He's 6'1", 6'2" receiver.
Yeah.
You know, runs a 4.5. You know, has long arms. He's got a high touchdown zone. So you find kids like that, and then obviously you got the number 13 prospect in the state. You got Chad Elzy. You got Stone. You've got guys that nobody's ever heard of, and then they show up the last week of December here in Baton Rouge and a ball out. You know, they're going to have a chance to compete. This year, they're going to do all the practices down at Lamar Dixon in Gonzales, Louisiana. So if you're coming, get your hotel room in Gonzales, Louisiana this year. You better get it quick before the hotels are sold out, because I'm expecting a big crowd this year just because of the amount of talent we have across the country coming.
Right.
I know we're going to have kids again come from Canada this year. Those guys, they've learned a few things. I think they want to bring a couple more guys down this year.
Yeah.
I do know we have a big offensive lineman from Jonesboro, Arkansas, going to be coming. I know we got a lot of kids coming out of Pensacola this year.
Yeah.
We're going to have the very first female kicker in any All-American game this year. She's coming all the way from Pensacola, Florida. So we're going to have some top-notch players from across the country, not just Louisiana, competing this thing.
Right, a lot of interesting stuff.
Make sure you get your hotel rooms in Gonzales, Louisiana. We're going to do everything at Lamar Dixon. The bowl game itself, we played at Memorial Stadium here downtown Baton Rouge on December 30th. You can get your tickets today on our website. Just click on the blue button. You got the hamburger on the blue button. That's the little 3 vertical, horizontal lines.
Yeah. You
click on that, and it gives you option to do tickets. We are asking for donations for the prospects from this year's bowl game. We'll receive scholarships. The 4 MVPs, offensive and defensive MVP for both teams, will receive a scholarship. How much depends on everybody that donates.
Yeah.
So please donate. Please find yourself to donate. $5 helps. Trust me. If a lot of people donate $5, we have plenty of money to give these kids. So you donate today. Use the blue button at the very bottom of the website. Click on that. Donate $5, $10, $100. It doesn't matter. Donate something to help these kids. And finally, I do want to say one thing about my friends over the Baton Rouge Zydeco. This is our second year of the hockey team in Baton Rouge. When I was stationed in Maine, I used to love going down to watch the Sea Dogs in Portland, Maine play all the time. I love to get the boxing match with a little bit of hockey involved. The same thing apparently goes on here in Baton Rouge. Check out the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Go to brzydeco.com. That's BRZYDECO for all of you that can't spell like me. So go to brzydeco.com and get your tickets today. I'll be at the October 17th home opener with my little son. We're going to be there. It's going to be a great event. So make sure you go check out the Baton Rouge Zydeco.
Absolutely, Andy. Yeah, Baton Rouge Zydeco, check them out. Looking forward to. I gotta check out a game over there at the River Center, so I definitely gotta check them out this year. But yeah, looking forward to another great bowl game, Andy. I mean, the talent is just coming in. You saw some of the names; those are just 4 of them. We got 4 others. So if you haven't watched our last show, go and check it out. We announced the first 4 commits. We announced 4 more. We got more coming that we haven't announced yet. So we'll be keeping you updated. So you want to follow along with which guys are committing, how to get tickets, information about the bowl game. Make sure you go to our website. You can find us at gridironfootballusa.com. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We got high school football going on, so we have our Player of the Week shows that we're going to put up. That's another way you can donate as well to Gridiron Football. And then we'll have plenty of highlights and all kinds of information. So make sure to follow us on our social media platforms as well. just keep up with us. It's all football all the time, of course, at GridironFootballUSA.com.
Thanks for watching.
All right.
Yeah, I figured I'd give MJ a shout out there.